So I guess I got to start with the football pass. It was on video earlier in the day, and then you had to do it in the game. Just tell me about that play and
Thank you.
kind of how it developed.
That's pretty ironic. We did have a couple routes ran in practice a couple days ago, but sorry. But List runs the floor really well. Everyone runs the floor really well, and I don't know. I've been able to make that pass when I was younger, and finally, I saw the opening, and List made a play.
And that wasn't the only way that the game kind of resembled a football game. There was a lot of physical play, a lot of people ended up on the floor and hitting the floor hard.
Hmm.
What was the reason just for the physicality of all of that today?
I mean, it's March. Everybody knows you win or you go home. So everyone's playing with everything on the line, and sometimes that's just what's gonna happen. I don't think it was malicious on either team's end, but sometimes plays happen like that, and you just got to get up and keep battling.
Did everybody come out of it okay?
Yeah, everyone's good.
All right, thanks.
Hmm.
Our next question comes from Jerry Hill.
Dejanay, can you talk about just how you guys kind of rallied around when Nalissa picked up her second foul? Y'all were actually able to stretch the lead, and she was able to sit out the rest of the first half.
I mean, we know how to play with any five players on the floor. Obviously, Nalissa is a huge asset to our team, and I don't think by any means we're better without her. But when she went off the court, we knew that we had to step up, and the game's not going to stop just because somebody goes out. The other team's not going to stop playing hard just because somebody's in foul trouble, and we know that. So we just had to dig deep, buckle down, and make plays, and that's what we did. It really started on the defensive end with Queen shutting down Kitley, and I think everybody built off that energy or fed off that energy.
And you guys dominated on the boards, and it wasn't just Nalissa and Queen. It seemed like everybody was really hitting the boards.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's what we've been doing all season long is trying to beat the other team at offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. We have goals set for our offensive rebounds, and I think we hit that mark today. And every single night, we know that all five players on the court have to help us rebound, and that's what really gets us going. Is when we can hold a team to one shot and start running on the opposite end. It's really hard for teams to guard us.
Our next question comes from Matt Roberts.
Hey, Dejanay, Matt Roberts, Fox 44 Sports. You talked about a little bit the defense kind of setting things up for the offense, holding them to 30% from the field, and y'all shot
Hmm.
50. I mean, what does that say about what this team can do when you really shut other teams down?
We paid attention to the scout. We've been going over it for the past couple days, and we really just locked into it. I mean, they have great players, but I think we have better players, and I think that our players showed that today. Queen was just a menace on defense, and she didn't give them anything that they wanted. Our guards helped each other. Liz did a great job switching out. I just think we played well as a team today on defense, especially, and we've done that all season long.
Absolutely. And for you, 21 points tonight, what was really working for you in your game?
I was just trying to let it come to me. I think that's when I play best is when I'm just patient and I let the game come to me. It's always nice seeing a couple threes fall. Makes the basket big for myself and getting to the free throw line. Those things kind of get me going. But getting on the glass, getting offensive rebounds, just trying to score in a multitude of ways and not being one dimensional has really helped me to expand my game.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Michael Ferreira.
Hi, Dejanay. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. You guys held Virginia Tech to 48 points tonight, under 50. What were you most proud of your defense of today?
I think the way we protected the paint, I don't know how many points they got in the paint, but it couldn't have been too many. Like I said, our posts were just so tough to get past. Anytime our guards got beat on the drive or anything, we knew there's no point of us fouling because we have Queen and Alyssa back there who are going to send that the other way. So I'm just proud of how we protected the paint and protected the basket.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are going to be facing Michigan next. Have you seen any of them play before? How are you guys going to prepare for Michigan?
I'm personally not sure yet. I know the coaches probably have a game plan that they're going to get working on tonight. But we never want to look ahead. We try to take it one day and one game at a time. I personally haven't seen much of Michigan, being that they're in a different conference, but I have full confidence in our coaching staff and in my teammates that whatever the coaches tell us to do, that we're going to be able to put it into action.
Our next question comes from Colby.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, congrats on the win. Colby Gordon, Austin American Statesman, by the way. You know, this is, your lone year at Baylor here, and especially coming off last year's injury while you were at Stanford. What does this kind of run and what does this season mean to you?
I mean, I just learned that you never know when it could be cut short. I try to play every game as though it could be my last. I've had injuries in the past where season-ending injuries, so I never take any moment that I have on the court for granted and just try to play hard every possession. But I've loved coming here to Baylor, and I think it was the perfect decision for me, and I'm so glad and grateful that I made that decision and that the coaching staff trusted me to come here and be a part of this team.
And what do you bring from your what do you take from your NCAA experiences at Stanford? What do you take from those to this run?
I mean, kind of just like I said, is just don't take anything for granted. We've seen upsets, especially on the men's side, but also here in the last couple of days on the women's side, and you never know. Any team can beat any team on any given night, and that's what I've just seen over the past 4 years in the NCAA tournament. So yes, maybe we're the favorites in a specific region, but that doesn't mean anything to the team on the other end of the court. So we just know that we have to come out and play every single second of the game like we're down.
We have time for 2 more questions. The first one comes from Jack Allen.
Hey, Dejanay, Jack Allen, 25 ABC. I was just wondering, you transitioned from the
Sorry, Jack, I think you got muted.
Sorry about that, DJ. I was just wondering, you transitioned from the Alamo Dome to a much more intimate arena like this one. What was the shooting like compared to what y'all saw on Sunday?
We tried not to focus on it too much. Obviously, it was a different gym, a different feel, but everything right now is going to be different, and we just have to adjust. We're not at home. We're not at the Farrell Center, so anywhere we play is going to be an adjustment, and we just got to be ready for it.
One more break, and then we'll come back and close it out before you come to Baylor.
And our final question comes from Darby Brown.
Yeah, Darby Brown with KWTX. Dejanay, in a game like this, Coach Mulkey doesn't lose her intensity. You guys feed off of what she's bringing there, even in that fourth quarter and when it's not even close.
I didn't hear the end of it. I'm sorry.
Oh, just, do you feed off of her intensity once the game is kind of, not close anymore, but you're still playing?
Yeah, we're playing against ourselves. At the end of the day, we're our biggest competition in my eyes. So no matter what the score is, we got to play hard. We got to play like we're down. We're playing for a national championship, and regardless of whether we're up 50 or whether we're down 10, we got to play the same way with the same type of intensity for 40 minutes. Obviously, we want to get our depth in the game so that everyone can get that experience and people can rest their legs. So we know that there's never time to take our foot off the gas no matter what the score is. But, Coach Mulkey never loses her intensity, so that's not a shock.
Well, Dejanay, that concludes all the questions. We want to wish you best of luck in your next game.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have Coach Mulkey momentarily. Coach, good evening.
Good evening.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
We're going to start with an opening statement from you, then we'll open up for members of the media for the question.
I don't usually give one. Thank you, though.
Yes, ma'am. And we'll go right to the question. Our first question will come from Chad.
Chad Conine, Waco Tribune Herald. Kim, when you had numbers like 53-23 on the boards and 46-4 second chance or points in the paint, those are your kind of numbers, right?
Well, I'm looking at the stat sheet as I'm talking to you guys. When you have, create that many turnovers, when you look at the points in the paint, when you look at the second chance points, when you look at the fast break, and then when you look at the bench points, guys, I've been doing this 36 years, and that was as impressive a performance defensively from start to finish that I've been a part of. I hate to even say that because sometimes we forget as coaches, but good golly, our kids were ready to play defensively, and it just, as I told them at halftime and I told them at the end of the game, you take care of the ball. We had very few turnovers. You're helping each other, just helping each other defensively. The block shots, our depth when Alyssa got in foul trouble. Bickle comes in, shows you we have depth. The job that Queen did on Kitley, but she's been doing that. I said it at the end of the Big 12 tournament. Queen just doesn't get enough credit from the media and people who choose those all-tournament teams. Not that she cares, but every now and then people need to recognize what that kid does and what she did today. Dee Richards, you play, 34 or 35 minutes, and you don't have one turnover in a game, and you've got 9 assists. I could just keep saying a lot of good things, which, I can pick apart some of the bad things we do, but I'd have to really watch a lot of film of this game because I just thought we set the tone from the tip.
Kim, building on that, you mentioning Queen, she blocked Kitley's shot 4 times in the first half. I mean, how much does that set the tone for what you guys wanted to do?
Oh, it does, and she was told that. Queen Egbo was a beast out there today, and she's been doing that though, Chad, and it's so good to see the progress she has made since she's been at Baylor, because we're a better basketball team when Queen Egbo plays like that.
Excellent, thank you.
Our next question comes from Darby. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, Coach Mulkey, heading to the Sweet 16 for the 12th straight year, is that something you take a second to celebrate here?
Well, certainly we're going to celebrate the excitement of how we played today. We'll give them tomorrow off, and, they're tired. When you play that hard and you play 2 games in 3 days, it's postseason play. You need to be very careful with how much you do. So we will, certainly get in the weight room and do some things, lifting and all that. But, getting in a gym, I'm not sure we'll do that tomorrow.
Next question comes from Jerry. Please unmute yourself.
Kim, you kind of touched on it, but, Alyssa goes to the bench. I think it was about 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter, and you're up like 6 or 7. And you guys were able to stretch the lead and then up 24. And the fact that you were able to rest her the rest of that half, how big was that when the rest of the team kind of rallied?
Well, it goes back to one of the things I mentioned was our depth. Jerry, I'm big on sayings and quotes, and I told him this. It's amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who receives the credit. Everybody knows Nalissa Smith is our All-American, and deservedly so. But our team is not just Nalissa Smith. Our team through the years has not just ever been one player. We have to understand that this game is not about any one individual. And I thought she did fine when she got in there the second half, and she was the biggest cheerleader on the sideline when she wasn't in there. And, it's depth.
And Kim, Chad asked Dejanay about it, that football pass that she had to Nalissa for the layup. She's just an athlete, isn't she?
Her dad would be proud of her. He played in the NFL for years, and in fact, I think yesterday, I didn't see it. I was on the other side of the curtain, but I heard all the screaming. I think they have a football with them, and when they're warming up, they throw some passes. And I got to tell you, I tell this to my son all the time, y'all better find you some athletic women, because they had some girls I heard throwing some deep routes and catching it, and that's impressive. So doing it in a basketball game's not surprising, but I know her dad's got to be proud.
Thanks, Kim.
Next question comes from Colby.
Hi, Colby Gordon, Austin American Statesman. Congrats on the win, Coach. Just talk a little bit more about Dejanay, just kind of, just talk about her game and just what she brings to the team. I thought she was outstanding today.
Dejanay's been outstanding since she's been at Baylor. She had a little pause there where she was, like the rest of us, had COVID, and it kind of took her out of the swing of things early in the season. She has experience. She has skill. She can shoot the three. She can take you off the dribble. She can post you up. The thing that's impressing me is how quickly she's picked up our defensive concepts. And to only have been here, since school started, and to do what she's doing defensively, it fits her skill level. And she's a phenomenal player, and she's healthy, and that matters. I know at Stanford she was not healthy, and it cut short her years there, but we're fortunate to have her. We're blessed to have her, and what a very good teammate she is, and just a great player.
What does that allow, you to do to bring off, I know she kind of plays starters minutes, but bringing off a grad transfer, with that experience and knowledge off the bench, what does that allow you to do?
Well, I think it brings a spark to our team. But, Trinity Oliver has been in the program 3 years and knows things that Dejanay didn't know when the season started because of little things that I may do through the course of a game, and Trinity knows it, and Dejanay will look like, what is she talking about? But Dejanay picks up on things, and she makes up for things when she makes a mistake. She might turn it over on this end, but she's going to go down there and get you a big rebound or make a big defensive stop or get a steal.
Our next question comes from Andrew.
Yeah, Coach, obviously some big games by multiple players tonight. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about Caitlin Bickle's performance off the bench. She gave you some valuable minutes in the Big 12 tournament, and then again tonight. How valuable is she when she can come in and give you big minutes like that?
Big time valuable. She's starting to get back where she was before her COVID pause as well. She's shooting the ball good. She's an undersized post player that has strength and can guard the bigger player. And I just thought that she was good defending perimeter players when they would set screens with her man. And Bickle was big time for us tonight.
And then could you also comment on Moon Urson, just a phenomenal first two rounds, 24 and 21 points. It just seems like she keeps getting better as the season has progressed.
Well, you said it best. The more we play, the better she gets. And you think, wow, she jumped and got that rebound, and then she'll do it again, and then she'll get a putback, and then she'll make a defensive stop. Again, confidence and opportunity. And she's getting her opportunity, and she has unbelievable confidence right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Next question comes from Jack.
Jack Allen, ABC 25. Kim, congratulations. You talked a lot about Queen's ability on the defensive end, and I was just wondering if you could talk a little further about what that opens for your guards and for the rest of the team whenever she's able to anchor the post so well.
Well, and guys, you didn't see us double a whole heck of a lot to try to help Queen. Kitley's not the type of post player where she's just down there at the block and she turns her back. In scouting her, she'll pick you apart if you go down there and double. So Queen somewhat was on an island by herself. And when she can do those things, it allows DD and it allows your perimeter players to gamble a little bit. They can gamble and get in passing lanes, and they can deny the ball. And when cutters cut, they can really face guard them a little bit. It's when you can defend like that and you don't need our help, it's impressive.
We have time for a few more questions. We'll go Michael, David, and then Jerry. Michael.
Hi, Coach. Michael Farrar here with Berg Sports Network. I talked this with Dejanay. You guys held Virginia Tech under 50 points. What were you most proud of your defense today?
Well, I was proud how excited and intense that we came out after the tip ball. I just saw kids helping each other. I saw every time they tried to drive, we had another player there. I saw, you knew they were going to shoot a lot of threes. I saw kids contest shots, block shots. Just activity. I just thought we were very active, and I thought that we communicated well on the defensive end. And you don't ever want to give up easy shots, and I just didn't think Virginia Tech ever had any just easy looks. And probably those two things, activity and communication.
And then my last question for you, obviously you said you've been coaching for a long time. You scored a lot tonight, and I've asked this same question to some coaches in the tournament. How does that help you as a coach to get younger players in to get them that March Madness experience?
Well, you talk to them in scouting reports. You talk to them in timeouts. It was important for us to extend leads. And when we came out at halftime and we were up, 24 or so, the first 5 minutes of that third quarter are important. And the reason it's important is that you want to get freshmen out there. You don't ever know when an injury will hit somebody. You don't ever know when somebody's going to get in foul trouble more than just one player. And your opportunity comes, and you want them to be comfortable and have gained some kind of experience prior to, a big game.
David and then Jerry.
I'm sorry. You there, Kim?
I'm here.
I'm sorry. I remember what you said back at the end of January. You needed practices to get back, to get them on the court, practice. Are you now where you need to be? I know you can get better, but are you now where you thought you could possibly be if you had the time?
You're asking me to say we played the perfect game? No, I know what you mean. Listen, yes, to answer your question. Now, that doesn't mean somebody else isn't either. As you progress in this tournament, it gets tougher. And we think we're one of the teams that has a chance to win it all. But we are also humble enough to realize there are other teams that feel the same way and are as talented as we are. And our approach is we're going to give it everything we have in a scouting report. We're going to give everything we have on the defensive end of the floor and just play hard. And I said this many times, Smoke. If we get beat and that happens, I just know that those kids in that locker room will have given everything they had, and you have to just compliment the other team. This team is not just going to give it away. This team might play bad in some respects on the offensive end, but I know what I've got defensively with their effort.
One more thing. You're going to the Sweet 16 again. Do you remember your first trip to the Sweet 16 at Baylor? And look, you got a smile on your face when I bring that up.
Because you're aging me. I can remember some things, and some things I'm like Baylor fans. I probably take it for granted and don't remember. I remember the very first team I coached at Baylor. I remember being in that slick Student Life Center and us celebrating. I remember Dave Campbell there, what a legend he is in sports journalism, and us going to Duke and Cameron and getting beat by Arkansas and one of my former coaches and Gary Blair who was coaching there. So I remember that. And then I remember, the first games we won against ranked opponents. I'm not sure I remember. I'd have to really think. The first Sweet 16 helped me here. It might have been at the Pit, maybe. I don't know. It might have been when maybe we beat Florida, but I can't tell you. When you do this 36 years, you'll sit in that rocking chair one day and then you'll start thinking about all of them. But I don't know. Y'all Google it and see when the first Sweet 16 we made, and then I can probably give you details of the game.
And our final question comes from Jerry Hill.
I'll answer it for you.
When was it?
Florida. It was Florida to get to the Sweet 16.
In the Pit?
Lost to Tennessee. Yeah.
Was it in the Pit? See, I got a decent memory.
And then you lost that game to Tennessee with the controversial ending. Kim,
yeah, and you know where that was played, right?
I do.
Was that played at OU?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Kim, and I don't know that you've even had a chance to look at it. I know they were playing right before you, but any early thoughts on Michigan and them upsetting Tennessee, I guess?
Well, Kim, their head coach, is I like her. I've always liked her, and she's come to our place for the first and second rounds before, and I think we've even played each other in the playoffs before. You know, Coach Wilson, Toyelle Wilson, a former assistant of ours, is on her staff. Respect. Good program, a program that's fundamentally sound, has one of the top players in the country. in Hillsman, and you know, I haven't studied much. I saw some of it in the locker room prior to the game, but that's about all I can give you in a scouting report right now.
And you beat Carolyn Peck in that. You beat Carolyn Peck, Florida, in that
Yes,
second
and
round game.
go check it out. I think Bernice Mosby was on that team, and then she transferred to us later.